From CBS News Bay Area, this is the Morning Edition.
Right now on CBS News Bay Area, several people recovering after a shooting in Hayward. What we're learning this morning from police. And illegal fireworks once again lighting up the skies across the Bay Area. We have a look at some of the video we're getting into the newsroom this morning. Jocelyn.
And Justin, later, it is a local grassroots effort in the East Bay to make sure those who are homeless have daily essentials.
All we're trying to do is spread kindness with no judgment, and it's really working.
How neighbors are helping neighbors.
And we are tracking these cooler temperatures for us heading into our afternoon hours today, and that air quality, especially after a day like yesterday with all those fireworks. We'll have more on that coming up in just a bit.
Developing this morning, several people were hurt last night in a shooting during a 4th of July celebration. This was in Hayward. Police don't have a lot of information on this shooting just yet, and investigators, they couldn't confirm to us how many people were hurt, but they do tell us no one died in this shooting. It happened on Ranker Place, just east of the 880-92 interchange. Right now, police are looking for the suspect. And fire crews are on scene of a structure fire in Antioch. This is a live look. Contra Costa Fire responded just before 3 o'clock this morning to the corner of 8th and D Streets. Wow, just look at how massive that fire spread, and it looks like it melted some of the cars there. 2 houses were on fire when crews got there. They added the fire seemed to originate in a detached garage that was sitting between those 2 homes and spread to those 2 homes. But just look at the aftermath of this. PG&E and also fire crews are still tending to this aftermath. So we'll have another live look at that hopefully sometime later in the show. But right now, let's switch gears to talk weather now. Obviously, that fog, it was high enough so we could still see the fireworks, right?
Yeah, I mean,
So
we were able to
yesterday.
see most of it. It was beautiful nonetheless.
It was.
I was able to see Sausalito just from my rooftop over in San Francisco, which was great. Hey, pop quiz round 2. You ready for this?
I'm not ready. What?
How tall is the Golden Gate Bridge, roughly? Around how high do you think? And this is applicable because that's how high the marine layer is right now, just above it.
1,000?
Close, 750.
Okay, I'm close.
Yes.
I was only 300 off. I'll take it, Jess.
Around 750. Let's take a quick look at the Golden Gate Bridge right now. Waking up this morning, if you're driving in from Marin, down south, oh, it's such a beautiful drive. That's one of my favorite drives in the Bay Area, heading into the city just across the Golden Gate Bridge. Right now, that marine layer is holding on tight just above the Golden Gate, so visibility at the surface level, not bad. We are waking up to 50s, though, so dress warm heading out the door. San Francisco sitting at 55 degrees right now. 54 up in Santa Rosa as we continue to head north along that highway. Here's what we're looking at as we extend into this afternoon. That onshore flow is actually going to start kicking up a bit more as low pressure circulates around us. It's actually going to allow for around 20-mile-per-hour winds near San Francisco into the 1 o'clock hour. Continues to stay breezy in those inland areas around 5 o'clock as we're all heading off of work and heading home. Now, here's a look at how that's actually benefiting us, because as we get a quick check of our air quality index, we're pretty much in the green for the most part as that sea breeze continues to circulate fresh air in from the Pacific. So here's what we're looking at heading into this afternoon with that in mind. Cooler temperatures along the coast, low 50s. That's below average for us today, by the way, and a little bit below average temperatures off in those east inland hills in the upper 70s, lower 80s. But we're going to see a big change right around the corner as high pressure builds its way in. Let's take Brentwood, for example, one of my favorite extremes of the Bay Area. We're going to continue to stay nice and cool, but then we warm up a lot into the triple digits heading into next week. I'll have more on why that's happening in a bit. But for now, Jocelyn, how are the roads this morning?
Overall, not too bad. There are some trouble spots that I want to talk about. I will say, though, Jess, I could have guessed 750 feet for Golden Gate Bridge. I will say. All right, let's take a look at how things are looking. People are getting back in the grind of things this week after that 4th of July holiday, so you expect a little bit more traffic out there, especially compared to yesterday. Over in the South Bay, though, I do want to talk about a crash here. This is on the entry ramp to 280 northbound. This is at exit 18. Thankfully, no reports of any injuries, so that is the good news. Over in the South Bay, though, as far as travel times, not looking too bad at all. 20-minute drive from Bernal Road over to Highway 101. At the Bay Bridge, those metering lights are on, and you're already starting to see that backup, but overall, not too bad. 10-minute drive from the toll plaza over to the city.
New video this morning from San Francisco. Yeah, Mission Local reports SFPD declared an unlawful assembly around midnight on 25th Street near Garfield Park. Dozens of officers in riot gear dispersed the large crowd that was there celebrating the 4th of July. We can hear from those yells there. Police say that a group had been setting off fireworks and holding sideshows at this intersection. Officers used rubber ball rifles to quickly make the crowd leave the area. Right now, it appears no arrests were made during that incident. Bay Area firefighters still busy this morning, and this is the reason why. Illegal fireworks. It looked a lot like this all across the area from our chopper. Check this out. This display in Union City was so huge at first, we thought it was a professional show, but it was not. It was in the middle of a neighborhood. People are so brazen that our chopper even spotted someone getting them or setting them off just a few feet away from a fire truck. So that's pretty bold there. And this grass fire along White Cliff Way in Walnut Creek, it burned at least 3 acres. Firefighters say they're pretty sure fireworks started this one. Obviously, 4th of July and fireworks, they pretty much go hand in hand. In some counties like Contra Costa, though, fireworks are illegal. That means all hands on deck for the Con Fire Department. Usually, they expect 30 to 40 fires in a span of a few hours in that county alone. Antioch is one of those hot spots, but thankfully for the weather, there were some favorable conditions.
This nice, cool, kind of wet, humid weather. So it's a little windy, so if it does start, it will still spread. But the humidity and the cool weather is definitely helping.
Our Betty U rode along with Con Fire and said once it hit 10 p.m., there were 9 calls going on at the same time in a 10-minute period. At last check, Con Fire says they responded to nearly 20 grass fires last night, like this one in Antioch, all within about an hour time span alone. They say fireworks were definitely the blame for at least 3 of them and probably the cause for more than a dozen more. And in San Leandro, people took over East 14th Street and Broadmoor Boulevard to create their own illegal fireworks show and block party. And people aren't just staying in their neighborhoods. In Hayward, they took over a shopping center parking lot on Mission Boulevard. As for the sanctioned events, though, this was the 10th annual Concord Fireworks display taking place after a day filled with food, games, local vendors, and a whole lot more. And yes, thousands of people packed San Francisco's waterfront for the city's famous fireworks show, including some who traveled from other parts of the world to see it.
I live in a climate where it's 109 degrees temperature, and I said, I'm getting out. So I came here. That's where I've been for the last 3 days. But rather than go home, I'm going to stay for the fireworks.
We're from Glasgow.
In
Scotland. We came for a holiday with my sisters for my sister's 30th birthday. So we're coming to see San Francisco and then going on a wee road trip down the coast.
They told me it's very nice to celebrate the 4th of July here, and it's my first 4th of July in the United States. So I came here with my friends.
I'm sure you saw Carl the Fog. Yeah, Carl was there too. It stayed high enough, though, in the sky not to spoil the show. But in case you missed it, you can always stream the full show on KPIX.com.